it's Coach Louise. It is 4 o'clock Alaska time on Saturday, so I'm gonna start this, and if anyone gets on, that would be great. If not, that's okay too. I understand it is a beautiful Saturday weekend, so but I'm recording it so that you can watch it later and still benefit from all the information. So gotta love technology when it works. Okay, so meal planning. I just want to do like a refresher and get back to the basics. And we are going to talk about portions. And the template that I have created is around the containers. Some of the stuff that I'm going to share, like you can still apply if you're following the 2B mindset, which is a plated method, which is awesome as well. It's more for volumating. It's less restrictive, but I think there's a lot of us in here who want the structure, who want to know exactly what they should be eating, when they should be eating it, with some flexibility, and I'm going to talk about that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and show you some things and show you the templates that I have here and how to make them a little more flexible based on, you know, changing up kind of where I've lined out your colors for which meals, and how to interchange some of those, because sometimes I may want, you know, my dressings with my lunch, not at my dinner. So we can tweak it a little bit, but we are going to talk about the containers. So let me just share my screen and pull up the first template. So that. Meal planning template A. So this is the category most people fall into. Most people fall into category A, which is 1,200 to 1,500. And if you're wanting to lose weight. So your calculation, if you don't know how to figure that out, then comment below, let me know, reach out to me. So what I've done is created, and I have lined out what you would have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and your snacks. And I have taken this from the timed nutrition that came with 80-Day Obsession. Because when you eat, what you eat matters, but so does when you eat can matter as well. It can play into that. So we want to optimize and be balanced through the day and optimize our fat burning, get the energy at the beginning of the day, fat burning at the end of the day, and still have energy for our workouts throughout the, you know, whatever time that is. If you want, I don't know if I'll talk time nutrition right now because that might just add a little too much complexity, and I want to really keep it simple and just do the basics. Okay, so here is how many containers you would get of each of the colors. I actually upped it on the green because I think you can have an extra green, and I think we should have more veggies. So, so I've added a green because I know when I'm creating a salad at lunch and I only have one green, it's not a very good salad. We want a sexy salad. We don't want a sad salad. So it's okay if you're going to have some extra veggies. That is never going to, you're not going to get fat by having extra veggies. It's the other little bits and pieces that we're snacking on, or the dressing, you know, or extra carbs, or eating late at night, that kind of thing. Those are the things that are going to have you gain weight, not having an extra serving of vegetables. So it's okay. So I've lined out for breakfast, you could have, you know, your red, which is protein, yellow, which is carbs, purple, which is fruit. Lunch would be a protein, 2 veggies, orange is your dressings and your seeds. Then dinner, another protein, you get 4 a day, veggie, and yellow, which is carbs. And I'll talk about how to mix these up as well. And then I have 2 snacks listed here, but and I also put interchangeable. Maybe you only have 1 snack at a day, which is what I would actually recommend. 1 snack, either if you're in the morning, if there's a bigger span in the morning between your breakfast and your lunch, that's where I would have the snack. Or, you know, just depending on how your habits are right now. If between lunch and dinner, you typically get that mid-afternoon snacky monster coming saying we should eat something, then maybe that's when you have your snack. But I would prefer you not have 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, because then you're just eating all day and we're not training our mindset to look for actual hunger. And you'll have better, if you're eating a good balance in your breakfast, you shouldn't feel really hungry between breakfast and lunch. And the same with if you're having a really good lunch, you shouldn't really feel super hungry depending on how long that time span is between lunch and dinner. So, but right now, you know, sometimes we do. So I'm like, I have a snack, like probably 4-5 days out of the week, I will have that snack. I just do. But you want to ask yourself, is this habit or is this hunger? But I do also want you to eat all of your containers. So if that works into where you get that snack, then yay. So the container system was developed by dietitians, registered, you know, dietitians, nutritionists, the exercise scientists, and other, like, there's some real science behind the container system. And so having all of the containers in your day you should have that to make sure you're getting all the nutrients. And where I've lined them up here is going to help you have a more balanced macro throughout the day to help keep you from, just to help you while you're trying to lose weight or make these changes to keep you feeling satisfied. So this is just a blank sheet, and I will upload this to our files. So then what do you do with this? Now I did put together let me pull that up. So we'll X out of that, pull up the example. So I did an example of what, if you were to fill this in, what that day of food would look like. So you get plenty of food. So 2 eggs equals 1 red. You get a slice of toast. I eat Ezekiel. Your fruit could be, I believe it's 12 strawberries, 12 medium strawberries. And I'll show you the food list here in a second. Or a container of mixed fruit, whatever. Lunch would be a red container of baked chicken, a mixed salad. I typically put cucumber, tomato, bell pepper on mine, sometimes radishes. And then here's your homemade. I actually, with the orange, for me, I find half of one of the oranges of an orange container of dressing is sufficient for my salad. I have oil and vinegar with some lemon in it. That's what I like, and there's plenty of flavor in that. And then I have half of that container to throw some seeds on my salad as well. Dinner, again, a protein. I just put in here, grilled steak or fish. Could be chicken again, if you're keeping it super simple. And then here's where you're having your other 2 veggies. So good helping of asparagus, or a big helping of stir fries. At dinner, I want you to have a serving of protein and like a double serving of vegetables, okay? And then you also have a second carb for the day. When I first started, I was having that at my dinner because it just seemed appropriate to have a carb. Like I would have some rice or some sweet potato or some quinoa. And so if you're just starting or you're just getting back into using the containers, I would suggest keeping your carb at dinner for now. And I'll show this when I show you the weekly meal plan, how you can mix things around. And my preference is to have my carbs, so both my fruits and my carbs, the purples and yellows, earlier in the day and not at dinner or in the evening. Okay, so if you're on weight loss and you're wanting to really maximize the metabolism burning process as you're sleeping, then it's better to have your yellows and your purple earlier in the day. But we typically like to have a carb at dinner. So no big deal. You're still within your containers. And this is how I did it like the first full year. And I got awesome results. And I kept them, and I still keep them, right? So this works, and it builds the habits that we're looking for. You'll learn how to do your meal planning, and I'm going to talk a little more about that. When you're first starting this, it does seem a little overwhelming. It's change, and you're learning something new, but you have to stick with it. Everything new we learn seems uncomfortable, clunky. Like, I don't know if I can do this. You can, and you just need to stick with it. Okay, so here's the dinner. And then what's that leave you as far as containers goes? Well, it leaves you a red, which is your Shakeology. Now Shakeology, so red is the protein. Shakeology falls as a protein on the container system. Shakeology is not a protein shake. It has protein, and it has a balanced, actually, a protein to carb ratio. But because of the amount of protein in it, we counted it as a red. It's not a protein shake. It has protein in it. It is a superfood nutrition shake. So this is something that you really should be giving your body every day. The dense dose of super nutrients that we don't get in all the other food that we're eating. This was one of the big game changers for me when I first started, because I was eating relatively healthy. I thought, outside of the occasional lean cuisine, frozen dinner, or lean cuisine at lunch, right? Having the diet foods, like the 100-pack cookies, occasionally diet sodas. And I changed that up, and I started added in the Shakeology and gave my body the nutrients it was really craving that it wasn't getting from the foods that I was eating at the time. So you have 2 spoons. Now, I always just use my spoons as my nut butter, because I like a good helping of almond butter. I mean, who doesn't, right? But your spoons also is your oils, your olive oil, your coconut oil, your nut butters. If you're using oil in your dressing, you would count it as the orange, right? And but when you're using some oil to cook, that would be counted as a spoon. I don't get too Nazi on this. Ooh, that was a wrong thing to say. My son is so into Hitler, and I am not like putting a line in the sand that you can't have. I would use the teaspoon of oil to cook and still keep my 2 spoons. That's almost how I've done it the whole entire time that I've ever done the container system from the get-go, because I love my nut butter. That's bottom line. That's it. So there you go. So when I have my Shakeology, a lot of the times I will have nut butter and fruit in it. So I'm going to show you how to interchange this. So this could actually be together. Like, here's awesome Shakeology, your nut butter, some fruit, and an avocado, which is blue. That's a really good shake. Okay, so there you go. So this is an example, just to give you an idea of how this would play out. And that's a great day of nutrition. That's a great day of food. That's a lot of food to eat. And so we'll talk about the planning part. Okay, so next, let me pull up, I should have put it in this folder, but I didn't. Okay, let me stop sharing, and then I'm gonna go and make sure I find it before I root all around. I'm gonna show you the food list, which I think a lot of you are familiar with, but I'm not sure if you're using it, honestly. Because if you're looking for lots of dense food, okay, let me share again, because I just pulled it up. So there you go. This is the food list, right? Here's your containers. Here's everything that you could put in your container. And this isn't like limited. This is like, if there was something that's not on this list that would be considered a vegetable, it doesn't mean you can't eat it. It's just not on the list. So if you have any questions at all, ever, about what container is this and where does it go, just reach out and ask me. I want to make sure you are comfortable with this. So to know about the food list, the items at the top are the most nutrient dense. So I encourage everybody pick from the top of the list as much as possible, right? But anything on here goes. And sometimes Like I was saying, oh, strawberries, I think it used to say like 12. Maybe I'm thinking of the refresh, 3-day refresh. But here, like a kiwi, it's 2 medium, right? What else? Like the bread. If you're having bread, it's 1 slice is 1 yellow. So if you're having a sandwich with 2 slices of bread, that's your 2 yellow containers for the day. So come here, get familiar with this list. The more you look at it, the more you build your meal plans, the more you just know what you get, right? I've been doing this for almost 5 years, and I got it down for the most part. Sometimes I still have to refer. Okay, so that's your food list. This is what you're gonna pick, and you can build meal plans from this. So it's not complicated where you're creating recipes right now. In the first week, I really, of you using your containers, and then whether you're brand new or you're getting back to them, I want you to just keep it super simple, Sistah. I want you to pick from the list. You can build great plans just from this list, add in your spices, and look at the free stuff here. You know, there's mustards and vinegars and hot sauce and onion and ginger. There's other seasoning mixes you can make, so you can flavor it up, no problem. Okay, and then so that's the template. That's an example. That's the food list. So then let's move on to, let me take that out. Okay, stop sharing there. And I'm going to go back to sharing because now I'm going to pull up the meal plans. This is an Excel spreadsheet, and you can have this to use. If it pulls it up. Okay, there we go. So here's, I'm going to do real quick, come out. I just want to make sure that you see it. Sometimes when I click on something and then I think I'm sharing it, nobody can see it. So there we go. Okay, so this is again based on the 1,200 to 1,500 calorie count. Here are your containers. Here is the same thing we just looked at. And the other template is something you can do by the day. If that's how you have to wrap your mind around it, then print out 7 of these and make them, you know, but if you want to do a full week, you'll be lined out right here on one sheet, and you can keep it really simple. So I did this earlier. Honestly, what we usually have every single weekday morning is a yogurt parfait. I'm dairy sensitive, but plain Greek yogurt, which has been strained in the process to make it the Greek yogurt, it removes a lot of the lactose in it. So I tolerate that fine, and I love yogurt parfaits in the morning, and they're super simple. And you can make these at night. You could put, and here's the good thing, you could get the mason jars, put your yogurt in there, if you have frozen, like right now in Alaska, we don't have lots of great fresh berries. So you could get the frozen berries, put your frozen berries on top of your yogurt, put it in the fridge, and that's gonna, the berries are going to thaw. They're going to melt down into the yogurt and flavor the yogurt. And then in the morning, then you can, if you want to pack up your granola in your yellow container, if you're on the go. Like when I first started, I was working away from home full time. So a lot of times either my breakfast on the go was my Shakeology. I would blend it up, take it out the door, drink it as I'm commuting to work. Otherwise, I would pack up my breakfast and have it as soon as I got to work. And that would be something like granola or oatmeal, yogurt parfait or oatmeal. So you can pack it right in your container. And then, you can take these along with you. Okay, so what I was saying is how I keep it really simple is I figure out a couple of breakfasts that I know I like that fit into the scheme, a couple of lunches that I know I like that fit into this scheme. And then I kind of so those are like kind of boring, right? You're eating, a lot of times you're eating the same thing, breakfast and lunch. And then at dinner time is where I kind of spice it up a little bit. I will make a different dinner through the you know, every evening. It's the dinner that has the variety in it. And if you're working away from home, you're not a stay-at-home mom, or you're not a student, you don't have like that extra time in the day, then planning ahead is going to be super important for you. Okay, so here I've just done a couple of examples, like I showed before, the grilled flank steak or fish, you know, roasted asparagus, some brown rice. This is the same as what we just really looked at. And then, you know, here I showed some differences in lunch too, just to give you an idea of what this combination could look like. So you could have hamburger with the taco seasoning, which is super good, that you can make at home. Green salad, cucumber and tomato, dressings and seeds. So this really, you're making like a taco salad. You could have, hot sauce or Cholula is free. So that could be, instead of a dressing here, you might put Cholula on it. Again here, so, and then for dinner, just showing you again, turkey meatballs. Now, depending on what you put in your meatballs, if you just keep it simple, if you have your meat and maybe egg for binding and some spices, keep it simple. It could be a patty. There is a recipe that you can do with turkey meatballs, but some of those recipes include putting oats in there or quinoa in there, so that adds in a yellow. So you could still do that and have this as your yellow here with nothing, right? You could have turkey meatballs with that recipe, and that would have your yellow in it, and then, you know, some veggies on the side. And then, so here's where I want to show you where I kind of do a little bit of flexibility. So here I'm adding a purple from my snack, and I indicated here that I had this at lunch. So I'm adding a purple with my snack. If I wanted to make like a tuna salad with some apple in it, this is really good. Just green, mixed greens, cucumber, tomato, chopped up apple, and some flaked tuna. Throw some dressing on there, super good. Here's where I've added a blue. So I indicated on here I'm having the blue at dinner. Grass-fed burger, lettuce, tomato, onion. If you're having with the yellow here, a tortilla or half a bun, right? Half a bun. And then the blue is the cheese. So then that took that snack stuff. So now I my Shakeology and my nut butter right here. So see how you can mix it up. Again, over here, I've taken and added purple and the spoons from my snacks to my lunch, because in my Shakeology for lunch here, I'm going to add in my frozen cauliflower, and I'm going to have some carrot sticks on the side. And then the purple is I have apple slices and my nut butter. I like that lunch a lot, actually. My Shakeology without any fruit in it. And then on the side, I like to cut up carrot sticks, celery sticks, and some apple with some nut butter. I really like that. It's light, it's filling. I like that. And I like apple and almond butter. And then here you can see I put the orange, instead of having it at lunch, so indicated I had my orange at dinner, I added the orange here. And if you have this Excel spreadsheet, if you're one of these kind of people like me, then you can do this. You just sit down. It didn't take me long to do this, to figure it out. It's super simple. It really is, once you've been doing it for a while. So if this seems overwhelming, you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck is she talking about? I get it. I do. In the beginning, I was like, oh, I stuck to the food list. I added them into my containers. And I didn't have this setup here where tell me what to eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I just kind of figured it out and tried to backtrack it. And there is actually on our nutrition app on the phone to be able to keep track of the containers you're eating through the day. I prefer you plan it out so that you don't get to the end of the day and say, oh my gosh, I got a blue and an orange. This is not going to make a dinner, right? I don't want you to get caught up like that. So here I added the orange, so chicken sausage, stir-fried veggies with some dressing on it, and then some quinoa for my yellow. So down here, I indicated, of course, that I use these. On lunch, optimally, We should not have fruit as an evening snack. So if you're having 2 snacks, honestly, what you really should try to get in the habit of doing is being dinner and done. Go have some fun. Dinner and done. If you feel like you're snacky after dinner, have some tea. If you still have a container left and you want to eat that, fine, if you're staying within your container count. It just is helping to create that. We've got to get away from that. And it's not like you can 100% sort of put the kibosh on that. It's just going to happen from time to time. It gets better. And if you're nourishing your body throughout the day, you have less of that. Okay, so then over here, and so here's my thing is like I would have the same breakfast, I would have the same lunch, and then I would, again, mix up my dinners. I typically have the same snack. And then on the weekend, I change up. We have more time. So we do a scrambled egg with, we actually put in some like kale and some red pepper. We don't do any cheese. We have it over toast with some Cholula, and we might have some fruit on the side. Or I keep that fruit for my Shakeology, okay, for later in the day. So this becomes more of a, think of your favorite 2 or 3 breakfasts, think of your favorite 2 or 3 lunch, add in some dinners, think of your favorite 2 or 3 snacks, add in some dinners, and you can repeat this. And over time, it just gets easier and easier. Okay, so you have your meal plan. And the final thing I'll say about the meal plan and sticking with the containers is, yes, I want you to try and stick to them 100%. If you really are trying to lose weight, especially in the first 4 weeks, stick with them 100% as much as you can. But if you have an off day and something, you're not completely on, you had an extra purple or you had an extra yellow, don't sabotage yourself by saying, well, I screwed up. Now I'm just going to eat the whole pizza. Don't do that. It's okay we're not perfect. This isn't about perfection. We are making progress. And if we can stick to this and we don't do it perfectly, that's normal, right? It's possible you can stick to it 100%, but if you don't, that is no reason to sabotage yourself, because that's what we tend to do. We got one flat tire, so we just get rid of the whole car. No, the car, let's just change the tire. The car is fine. Okay, I'm gonna, stop sharing that. Okay. And the last thing I wanted to show you, and it's just, there's this grocery list. This is helpful for you to use to continue to learn what goes where. And you should have lots more on your veggies than you do over on your carbs, right? And you'll see that. It'll get more veggie heavy, less of the starchy carbs, less, we're picking from the top of the list. So having this just helps you to learn what goes into what container. And then you'll have your completed weekly meal plan, which you can put on your fridge. What I do in the morning is I look at it, I take out the meat that I want to thaw for the evening. Now, if you're working away from home, you got busy days, you don't want to come home and have to cook all of it up, I would pre-cook some on the weekend. That's why I wanted to do this on a Saturday, so you can go grocery shopping and then get some things prepped up. I don't do the creating every single meal and putting it in containers. You can do that if you like that. Maybe treat it as a puzzle and you're just like, okay, I've got all my breakfasts containerized in Tupperware or mason jars. I've got all my lunches containerized. I've cooked it all up and I've got it all portioned out in my, let me grab them real quick. Let me see. Hang on. In these kinds of containers, right? So you could do that, and that's helpful. I mean, when I was working away from home, that's what I did that sometimes. Got to grab and go, right? We're busy, busy, busy. Okay, so, but I buffet style prep a lot is what I do. I just get a lot of, bulk cook the quinoa, cook up a couple of potatoes so I have them ready. I get some meat. I would cook baked chicken, especially if I'm having chicken, like a salad with some chicken or something, and I'm taking that on the go. And even if you wait and containerize it the night before you're going to leave to take it for lunch, or in that morning, you've got it cooked and ready to go. So you can just create the meal, throw it together, and take it with you. Have your veggies, have them prepped and chopped up. If that's going to help you stick to your plan in your busy schedule, then make sure you're doing that. And really, in this first week, you're going to learn what's working, what's not working so well, and make adjustments. Okay, so just give yourself grace. Ask questions as much as possible. I want to make sure that you are doing this because if we do, we need to get back to basics and have the structure if we're going to get to our goals. Can you believe it's almost March, right? Okay, so why is the combination that we outlined here? And that is, again, to optimize your nutrition throughout the day so that you should be able to stay feeling satisfied longer, having more energy. That's why I'll encourage you to have your fruits and your veggie, or your fruits and your carbs earlier in the day. Those are meant to give you energy. And if you're eating at night and then going to bed, then you're not capitalizing on that energy from that food. It's not metabolizing as effectively as it could be, and it potentially gets stored, right? And if you're getting up super early the next morning to work out, then that could work for you. So again, we just see how things work for you and how things are not working as well, and make adjustments. So continue to check in with me on that. I showed you how to mix it up and keep it flexible. Don't beat yourself up if you overdo your carbs one day. That's no reason to give in, throw in the towel, right? We have the food list. Now there are recipes, and in your books, in the Fixate, in the cooking show, in the beachbodyondemand.com/blog, there's lots of recipes. At the bottom of the recipe, they have the container count, so you could work those things into your meals, especially if you're doing dinners, like at the variety of dinners, but then just make adjustments through the day. If you need that, if you need like the orange from your lunch to be in your dinner, then you just move it around. Again, pick 2 to 3 of your favorite breakfast, lunch, and snacks, and I would repeat those. Keep it simple, and then the variety in the dinner. There's a workout, so to eat optimally, you can do a workout block type thing, and this isn't it exactly, but if you're not working out first thing in the morning, maybe you're working out mid-morning, you could eat your pre-workout meal, there's a post-workout meal, and then a couple of the rest of the containers, how they fit in the day. So you could actually, it's called time nutrition. So if that's interests you, let me know and I'll work with you, because I have this same know what to eat, when to eat it kind of setup for that. If you're working out after work and you want to know what should you be eating prior to your workout, same thing applies. So let me know. Okay, so I will upload these templates and then talked about the prepping, the buffet style. So the other thing is exciting that Autumn has coming out with what's called the Ultimate Portion Fix. It's still all around the container system. It's still a lot of what I've just shared here, but she really dives deep into the science behind it. So it's being released March 4th for coaches. So I'm definitely jumping on that. And I'm going to get through the first 3 modules of that so that I can share that with you, but then it'll be available to you on March 18th. And it's really, and there's a workbook that comes with it, and it's, if you want to really get a handle on your nutrition, then I suggest highly that you get the Ultimate Portion Fix. Get the videos, get the workbook, understand why the containers are what they are to begin with, and how they serve our bodies, and how they can be effective for weight loss and for maintenance. And just we can all together get a handle on that. Nutrition is the thing that most of us struggle with. So the fact that we will have this available is awesome. If you do get that, you also get access to Autumn's redoing the 21-Day Fix and the 21-Day Fix Extreme workouts. And by redoing, I mean, she's not just repeating what we all know and love that came out 5 years ago. Can you believe it's 5 years ago, February, that the 21-Day Fix came out? She's doing some new workouts. So there'll be a new total body cardio fix, a new upper fix, new lower fix. All of them are going to be new. And then, so she's doing, I think that's in April. And then right after that, 3 weeks, she's refilming the 21-Day Fix Extreme. So you can get in and get those as they, as she's making them. So there's a similar concept when she did the 80-Day Obsession. If you did that, you did it in real time. So, you know, you did day 1 with her, you did day 10 with her, you did day 50 with her. And so this will be the same. We'll be going and doing the workout along with her as they're filming it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'll keep you posted about that. Okay, also, let me just share, I'm almost done. Let me just share in our Fit Family page. Hang on. Okay, I wanted to just show you, and this is where I'm going to upload some of the resources that I just shared with you. I can email them out to you, so if you want them emailed, let me know. But in the files section here, you go to the files section. Here's where I did the time nutrition for all plans, A through D. So you can look at that. I put in here my favorite recipe. It's an ebook that I did, right? This has my favorite breakfasts, my favorite lunches, some of my favorite dinners, my favorite snacks, and so that's there. There's some 2B Mindset information. There's a weekly dinner plan sheet. This one was to keep it really simple. If you've figured out what your favorite breakfasts and your favorite lunches are, let's see if this is going to pop up. And then you're just adding variety in your dinners. Then you can come in here and right here. I hope you see this. Then you can just come in here and create your dinner plan right here, your grocery list. Keep this on your fridge and boom. Keep it simple, system. What else do we have? There's another daily meal planner. There's a couple of different things in here, some fixate recipes. A weekly meal planner. Oh, this is the one that I use a lot, actually. And so, you hear my cat, she crunches her teeth. So this is the one I use a lot, especially in the beginning. Again, I don't recommend an evening snack anymore. We're just going to take that out. And here's where, if you're filling it out like this, this is the one though, when I was making them, I didn't have like what containers I'm going to have at breakfast, lunch, and dinner already lined out. I just went in and here's what I'm having, and I had to figure out, okay, what is that? What does that leave me? What is that? What does that leave me? And it takes a little more thought. I would, if you're new, I would go use that, the one I've showed you prior, to get started. But this is here in case you want to branch out a little bit. Okay, so you can come in and look at the other things in our files, and that's where I'll upload these templates that I just showed with you and shared with you. Okay, and then the final thing, I just want to say that knowledge is not power. Knowledge is the potential for power. I had a meeting today with some ladies in my recovery group, and I had a couple of aha moments. So I just want to share this with you because a lot of you know I'm in recovery, and so I follow a 12-step program, and it is my design for living. And when I work it, it works. And the same thing is for here. This is a system that works if you work it. If you don't, it won't work. This is really simple. So, okay. And knowledge just avails us nothing. Knowledge is great, but avails us nothing if we don't implement. Knowledge is not power, it is the potential for power. So think about it like this, because here's where a lot of us sit. We know the difference between having an apple and having a McDonald's hamburger. Like, we know which one's the better choice. For the most part, we know what healthy eating would look like, but it's a matter of implementing it. And if you have a plan and you've shopped and you've prepped, and you stay connected into our group, you're more likely to implement and take the knowledge and put it into practice to get the results that you want. It's the same thing. This other analogy that somebody said, it's like, knowledge is power. It is powerful. But unless you do something with it, the power just stays in your head. Like, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't cause any effect. It doesn't help you. You just know better. You just don't do better. I've been there. Still there sometimes. It's like the electricity in the wire. The wire, if the electricity is in the wire, until we flip the switch, we're not going to see, the light's not going to come on, right? You're not going to be able to see better. You're not going to be able to, the blow dryer is not going to work until you flip the switch to on. The power's there, but you have to take action to use it. And then, the other thing that was the aha is, like, sometimes we see the path and we see others on the path, but we tend to just like, okay, I see you on the path, but I'm going to go this way because it's faster through the Devil's Club brush, and we're tromping through that and we're getting scratched up and we're not even, we're saying it's not so bad because, because we think it's more comfortable or it's easier, and it's not, right? We just need to follow the path that we know works, that we see other people doing. It really comes down to that acceptance of it. And if there's some work that needs to do, like, I totally believe mindset is a huge part of this. We have to transform the inside to see the results that we want on the outside, because even you could get to your results and not feel fulfilled with them if you haven't changed some of the mindset around eating healthy, around the exercise, around, the emotions, and all of that comes with it. So this, again, it's a design for living. It works if you work it. So let's work it. If you have any questions on the meal planning, let me know. I hope this was helpful, everyone. Okay, and I'm going to bring you more information about the ultimate portion fix as it comes, as it's been revealed. So I'm excited. Everybody, have a great night. Bye.